So as most of you know, Elon and Trump are having a fight. I put that in air quotes. And this is Trump responding to the criticism from Musk that he wrote on X.
Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill, what's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the...
All right, so right as we get into this, here's Elon. He kind of goes still for less than a second, like a microsecond of a pause. When someone asks a question, I expect to see anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be stress. It'd be like, hey, how's your mom doing? As soon as you hear mom, you see movement in the brain and the body. Oh yeah, my mom. When someone goes still and they don't want to give away what they're really thinking, that's always a clue. So he goes still on that, processes this particular question. And then you see him look down, look away, scrunch up his face and give the kissy lips, and then jiggles his butt in the chair because he's settling down. He's anchoring down. Obviously, this gives a lot of stress, this whole Elon thing.
Senate, which of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, you know, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, the words of, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible.
So we can take from him his Freudian slip. You can see what he said about me. Elon didn't say anything about him, but he did say about the bill. And he acknowledges that Elon only spoke about the bill. But Trump internalized that as he's talking about me. And he's not facing the situation. You go back.
I was very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, the words of, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill.
So remember, he turned his body and he anchored himself in the chair. Okay, that's important because he was facing this reporter to give them an answer or whatever response to their question. Instead, he's turned himself away, anchored in, and to respond to them, he won't turn his shoulders to confront. He's giving him a side answer, low key, not much thought. I'm going to give the least amount of attention to this question that he could possibly give.
Because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, you know, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, you know, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles.
Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate. Now, he's got the believe me look semi there, but it goes really high when he talks about it was a lot of money, the most amount of stress. And I found this a contradiction in things. This is how he talks about saving us money.
That bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that
goes really high for small business and all us plebs. And this is where it's like, oh, well, this is interesting. Are we lying that it's good for all us plebs? Or are we lying that Elon's mad about getting EV cuts taken away? Because one is extremely high and one is not. And the extremely high one, which is really the indicator of high stress, is the one talking about all us plebs and how much money was in EVs, not about Elon being upset about getting his stuff cut.
We're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, you know, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, you know, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, you know, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, you know, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there.
Then again, we go straight up with Elon knew. Really high stress on that one. And that's where it gets very interesting, because we're going to stop it here and go to our next video, which is a throwback. All right, so Trump and Elon had a interview quite a while back. I don't remember how long this was ago, but he brings up the bill. Pay attention.
With that, but that's it. So your task now And I pray to God this is successful. I really do. I wish you Godspeed. You know, Godspeed, John Glenn.
It's going to be, by the way. I really believe
but
it's
there
coming.
are, but there
Because
are
the country's
legitimate
going to
areas.
do well beside this. This is cutting. We're only talking about cutting. We're also going to make a lot of money. We're taking in so much.
What about
money.
his business? What if there is
Then we won't
a
let
contract he would otherwise
We're not
get?
going to let him do it. If he's got a conflict. I mean, look, he's in certain areas. I mean, I see this morning, I didn't know, but I said, do the right thing, where they're cutting way back on the electric vehicle subsidies.
Yes.
There we go. They're cutting back on the electric vehicle subsidy. Obviously, we don't see the high stress brow that we just saw in the previous video, because we don't have to fib here. And Elon's over here shaking his head. Yeah, they're going to cut it. Everything's fine. Let me give my positive head movement. Still relaxed, shoulders down.
Cutting back.
You lose.
Not only cutting back.
Hurt you.
Correct.
Yeah. Now,
You don't care.
I will tell you.
He's got a little flex in his hands, just a little bit of flex, but it's not a surprise, anybody. He knew.
Well, he's probably not that happy with it, but that would have been one thing he
Not that happy with it. And you see the head shake with the eyes closed from Elon. It is what it is. It's neither disgust nor happiness. It is what it is. Company either sinks or floats.
would have come to me and said, listen, you got to do me a favor. This is crazy. But this was in the tax bill. They're cutting back on the subsidies. I wasn't involved in it. I said, do what's right and they're coming up with a tax, but it's just preliminary. But I mean, if he were involved, wouldn't you think?
So we've seen these two jokers and the rhetoric that's coming out now. I guess this is where you say, enjoy the show. If you like it, leave a like. Remember to support me on Patreon and the website. I put out a podcast every Friday, articles through the week. And also, my husband makes table legs out of steel. Thank you for those of you who ordered, because for 2 whole days, I had peace. I'm just kidding. For those of you so offended by that comment, oh my gosh. I really do like my husband. He knows I do. It was actually his suggestion for that ad. Tell him to get me out of the house. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, they'll think it's funny. Hey, Reese, they don't think it's funny.
Thanks for watching.